So, welcome to Gaia Community. We are an earth-based pagan Unitarian Universalist congregation currently meeting on Zoom at 4 p.m. every Sunday. We ask that you mute any devices so that they don't interrupt you during this time. And we also ask that you keep yourself muted unless we ask you to unmute. The team for today is myself, Kitty Degler, and David Reynolds Gear. Our topic is Farewell to Horus. Horus has been our patron for this year past, and so we want to say a fond farewell. So we light our chalice today to echo the great eye of Horus, the solar torch that burns away untruth and drives off evil. Today we join together to honor and welcome Horus the Younger into our congregation and to stand with and beside him in the struggle to increase Ma'at in the world. So now for purification, if you'll take your bowl of water, and if you'll say with me, my natron is the natron of the Netzer. May it purify me of all that is impure. We are purified. Blessed be.
So at this point, I want to remind folks of the thing we were doing when we met in person, which is called offering reverence. We emulate this from Egyptian practice, and there are basically two steps to it. So if later in ritual you're going to be speaking to or about Horus, you may want to do these from where you're sitting, so that he knows that you are coming in good spirit and in politely. So there's basically two forms of this. You can put your hands up to your sides like this, or you can put your hands out and down like this. There really is technically a third form, which is about prostrating on the floor. We're not going to do that. One, it takes you off camera, and two, it's hard on the knees. We've decided for our own right action that step is not necessary, and Horus does not seem to mind for us. So I do want to welcome Horus, though, with the hymn to Horus the Younger. To Horus, who was born of Isis, I offer my praise. Son of Osiris, true heir to the throne, savior of your father, contender with your uncle, Horus, who joined the two great lands, who wears the double crown. O King of gods, O God of kings, I call to you, O Horus, upholder of the right and the good, defender of order, guardian of Ma'at, whose work is unending. I honor your constancy, I honor your might. I pray to you, O Horus, grant us your grace, grant us the gifts of integrity, grant us the strength to do what must be done, the will to pursue the true and the just. Horus, who is born of Isis, we call to you with reverence, we call to you with faith. Hail, Horus. we offer to Horus gifts from ourselves, gifts of food and drink. These may be things that you made, things that you bought, things that came from your garden or simply from your pantry. These offerings are given to Horus that he may consume the essence of them during ritual, and then at the end of ritual you will consume what is left to make sure that nothing is wasted. Hail Horus. So at this point in ritual, we want to go back to last August when, if you were there at the investiture ritual, we made ma'at feathers with commitments and promises and oaths on them. And we want to take a moment and think about those things. We're going to talk about them a little bit, so if you have anything that you want to mention, please raise your hand, either using the hand feature on Zoom, and Kimberly will bring you up through a queue, or if you don't have that button or it's not visible, please raise your hand, wave your hand so that Kimberly or Kitty or I can see you, and we'll get to you that way. You do not have to claim these as your statement, your oath, your promise. You are welcome to if you want, but you may also find that something someone else said inspires you to say something or reflect on what that means. So I'm going to start with, actually I'm going to finish with that one because I can't read that one. It's not in English. And we do have some more ritual to do. Looks like it's almost 5:30, is that right? Wow. 5:20, okay. All right, well, if no one else has anything then, I'm going to turn things over to Kitty at this point.
All right, so I might encourage you, if you've been sitting here this whole time, to just stretch a moment, because next we're going to offer you an opportunity for you to ask advice from Horus for the future, and either for yourself or for the community or for both. And this will be a guided meditation. So you might want to think about what questions that you might have for Horus. So think of these and let yourself settle in for a guided meditation. I invite you to travel with me on a guided meditation to say farewell and ask for parting advice from Horus as he journeys back to his temple in Edfu. You may journey to the sound of my voice or take your own journey to find Horus. Take a moment to get comfortable. That could be standing or sitting or even lying down. Whatever will work best for you to allow yourself to journey in your mind. Let yourself notice your breath. Breathing in and out, inhaling to fill your lungs, exhaling to release it back. Try to slow your breathing, taking a longer, slower, deeper breath and exhaling slowly. Imagine your breath filling your body, touching all the organs in your core, traveling down your center, into your hips, into your legs, all the way to your toes. Imagine your breath traveling down your arms, into your fingers. Let your breath fill the back of your neck and move throughout your brain and skull. As you breathe, Let your body relax further. Let your eyes relax, falling closed if you wish, as you turn your attention inward. Breathing in, you feel the air warm. Perhaps you can feel the hot sun beating down on your forehead. Maybe you take out a hat or scarf to cover your head and protect yourself from the sun. Not only is the sun hot, it is bright. You have to shade your eyes to see. The light glimmers off the flowing river beside you. There are sailboats on the water, the traditional feluccas of the Nile River. Many are decorated with flowers, and most are filled with people. You notice that there are people around you as you stand on the riverside. They are all moving, walking in the same direction. They are smiling and some are singing. You join the crowd and walk with them to wherever they are headed. As the river bends, up ahead you notice a large bark moored to the stone dock. You can hear the sound of pipes and drums coming from the boat. You move closer with the people until you can see a large statue of falcon-headed Horus being carried in the boat so that all may see. Amazingly, with all the people around you, a space opens up between you and the barge, and you can move closer until you can see the statue of Horus clearly. And at that moment, it seems that Horus looks directly at you, and you can hear his voice in your head, calling to you. The scene around you shifts, and you are no longer standing on the bank of the river, but have been transported somewhere else, someplace where you and Horus can speak privately. Where are you? Are you at a desert oasis? Or in a shady palm grove beside the temple? Perhaps you are in Horus's private chamber inside his temple. Or have come onto the barge itself, floating in the temple's sacred lake. Look around. What do you see? What do you hear? Is the music still playing? Has it gone quiet? Take a few deep breaths and steady yourself. Can you feel the presence of the God? He is here. Perhaps he is physically present before you. Perhaps he's just a voice in your head, welcoming you into his presence. His manner is inviting, encouraging. What questions do you have for the deity who has been Gaia Community's patron for the year past? What advice does he have to help you continue in right action, in Ma'at? What advice does he have for the community? Take this time to ask these questions or any others that might be in your heart. you begin to notice that the edges of this place, out of space and out of time, have begun to shimmer. And you recognize that your time with Horus is coming to an end. Take this time to thank Horus for his advice and for being Gaia Community's patron for the past year, and to say farewell. You take a breath, and you are back standing on the stone dock in the hot sun. The barge of Horus has moved off, heading up the river toward his temple at Edfu. You say another farewell in your mind, perhaps waving goodbye. And on your next breath, you find yourself back in the present time and the present day, in the room where you started, participating in a farewell ritual to Horus on Zoom. Take a moment to stretch and recenter yourself. You might want to take a moment to write down any thoughts or insights you received from your journey and your visit with Horus. So take a moment to be back fully present here in our space, and take any time you need to write down any insights. And the next thing we're going to do is to sing Horus home, imagining that he's heading back up the river to his temple in Edfu or wherever else he might be needed. And so I took a chant that some of us know and put new words to it. And I'll sing it through, and Kimberly has posted the words on the screen, and it goes like this. Wind and motion, let the river run. Feel our devotion, Horus Osiris sun. Sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run. Feel our devotion, Horus Osiris sun. Sail away, carried by the wind. So that's sung through twice. So this song actually can be sung as a round, and at the end of each phrase, you would start it again. So that's something you can do, and you can also sing harmony. And so as we sing it, you can imagine in your mind that Horus is on the river in the River Nile, and send all your thanks and heartfelt wishes with him as he sails away. So come sing with me. We'll keep you muted. You can sing however you want, and I'll sing for a while, and you can join me. Thanks. Wind and motion, let the river run. Feel our devotion, Horus Osiris sun. sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind and motion. Let the river run, feel our devotion. Horus, Osiris, sun, sail away, carried by the wind.
So at this point, we do send Horus up the Nile to Edfu, to other places, to other responsibilities, other realms that need his help, that will benefit from his teachings and his experience. And we thank him most heartily for the year that we've had with Horus as our patron, that we wish that he would return any time that he sees fit to share with us more knowledge, aid us in Ma'at, bless, to hear us say it in return. Hail and well met, Horus.
Hail and well met, Horus.
So now, if you have food or drink offerings, the time that we encourage you to do those. And we'll take a moment for announcements that we have for the coming week. And then we will wrap up ritual. Thank everyone for your participation and your thoughts. As we said at the beginning, we'll be editing out the portion where we shared personal experiences out of the video of the ritual that we'll post online. But as someone who was here and listened to it, I appreciate you all and your candor and your effort. It has announcements today. And we have a ritual coming up next Sunday, I believe, is Matt doing Lunasa, is that right?
It is. We're having a Lunasa next week. It'll be in ADF style, so if you have praise offerings you've been wanting to get out or oaths you've been wanting to check in on, there will be time for those things. Watch for some crafting that you can do at home. A good chunk of the ritual will be celebrating, in addition to the many skills of Lou, his role as the arbiter of oaths and keeper of justice under the law. So in celebration of both skill and that role, we will be creating a craft. You can bring your own, or there are some coloring pages that Jamie's going to be posting that you are welcome to use your media of choice to make beautiful during the ritual. If you need something printed for you, let us know. I believe we have some availability to come bring things around, and we'll be charging those for your altars for ongoing works of justice magic throughout the year.
I think Jamie posted those in the Facebook event already, but we'll make sure they're on the website and everywhere else, of course.
I have an announcement. I have just closed the voting on our patron selection for the year. I let it go a little bit longer in case there was anybody trying to get in at the last minute. I'm not going to do it the dramatic way. I'm just going to say congratulations to our patron of the year for the year to come, who is Hermes. And we'll be spending a year with Hermes per our voting public. I will put on our Facebook and on our website how the voting shook out. We only had 3 candidates, so this is a 2-round ranked choice vote as those things work, but I'll put all that detail up on the website and Facebook for folks to look at and see how that worked. So thank you everybody who participated in watching all of those rituals, putting on all of those rituals, and casting your vote.
Yeah, that was a very different experience, and I hope people got out of it what they needed to be able to make an informed choice. Thursday, we'll have Joys and Concerns again, 8:00 p.m. local time. Come and share your petty and your grievous and your joys and your silly and anything else, and just bring your face if that's all you need to, all you got. And you don't even have to have that. If you just want to say hello over a mic, we just want to hear from you and make sure you're doing all right. We're kind of at the late part of the month, so I don't know that there's anything else coming for Gaia Community this week. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Well, then I will wrap up here by closing out the God Box. The God has departed for Edfu, but we do want to make sure that we give due reverence here. And there are things that were in the box that belong to members of the community. I will probably be posting some pictures of some of those things. If you know that you had something in the box that you want returned to you, please let me know. I will get it to your porch or in the mail or however we need to deal with that. There's some photographs in here that are really lovely. There's some jewelry. So there are things that I think people will want back. Unfortunately, we did not this year put the handy cheat sheet of who owned what in the bottom of the God Box. So we'll have to sort of play it by ear as we go. And also, in most years, we would put the things that were unclaimed into the God auction basket that goes to the big winner of God auction. But that's not the way things worked out this year. So the community will continue to have Horus statue for a while longer. We'll wrap up with our closing here. Again, I appreciate everyone for taking the time. We are still before 6 o'clock, but sometimes our online rituals are shorter. So again, I appreciate everybody's patience and participation. We'll be doing our closing short form call and response. So if you will make a cacophonous noise with me. Our circle is open but unbroken.
Our circle is open
but unbroken.
May the peace of the goddesses go in our hearts.
May the peace
of
of
the
the
goddesses
goddesses
go
go in our hearts.
The dance of the god enliven our days.
And the dance
And
of
so
the
the
gods
gods
enliven
enliven
our
our
days.
days.
May May we care for the earth and each other.
And may we
Care for the earth and each other.
Because our lives depend on it.
Because our lives
depend on it.
Let's do all together. Merry meet.
Merry
Meet.
meet. Merry part.
Part.
And merry meet again.
meet again.
Thanks, everyone.